What's up, guys? I see Trades here. Today we're going to be covering MSTR strategy, going over a technical analysis breakdown. And right away, guys, on the channel, what we were saying was that this overextended run up leaded to this pullback and a consolidation range, but we've then trended higher and held it higher relative to this consolidation range. So are we looking to the upside, breaking out of this overall range, or are sellers going to step in here, push us back down to the bottom of this range and possibly below it? Now, getting this analysis started on the weekly time frame, we see right away we get that move up to that 543. As we were covering on the channel, we get into this descending pattern. We break out nicely. Buyers really gain that control, pushing us all the way to that $425 level. And we see a little bit of a descending nature, once again, holding tight around that $369 level, not getting below that. And then we see that move up, reclaiming this support here, and we get out of this overall descending range, stay above this ascending support that we have here. So guys, stock really came down in this range, popped up. Buyers really gained that control. We got in a smaller descending range. Buyers held relatively strong to the amount that we were overextended at, right? Pretty big movement up. We hold relatively strong and we push up once again. So pretty nice price action there, guys. That's something you definitely want to see as a buyer, as we've held pretty much higher. We haven't even came half of a retracement of that overall overextend a run up here, hold higher, and then we're looking to push higher. It looks like we definitely could be seeing price action back to the top of this range, 425, breaking out of that, and that would definitely be a major level to hit, given that would be pretty much cleared to that 543 level. Not too much in the way from there, guys. We get over that 425, 430, 435 level, and like we predicted on the channel, we would get that leg up back in this territory, trying to reach that $500 psychological level. This is definitely great price action here, guys. Looking like we are going to reach that level as long as we can break through that 425. All right, guys, now further analyzing on the daily chart, we have that descending range we were talking about. Chop around here, very volatile price nature, right? We get that high of 543. You see price really chop around here. Buyers push it up, sellers push it all the way to the bottom of that range. Boom, boom, boom. Very volatile, guys. And then we find that bottom at 232, kind of double bottom, right bottom there. Get back up to the top of that range, push all the way back down, bottom once again. And then we break right out of that range very cleanly, pretty overextended, and buyers show that they are ready to push the stock higher as we break out of that longer term range. And then we get in this smaller descending range, right? Sellers try to push it under that, as we can see here, chop around, chop around. Sellers try to push it below that support level, but then buyers buy it quickly back up, holding around that 369, showing that that's pretty good support. Also bouncing off this ascending support that we have here. And we get back in that range, and once again, guys, sellers try to push it downwards, and then buyers once again buy it back up, bouncing off another support level, that low of 358. And then we bounce right above this resistance. And it looks like we are holding, right? And then we turn into support, right? Tight, tight, tight price action, move up. Sellers try to push it back down. And then we turn this resistance into support, bounce right there. And we get right back up. And now we're over that $400 psychological level, closing at 403.99. So that's definitely good price action, guys. And we see an inverse hammer candle, inverse green hammer candle, right? Long wick on the top, indicating selling pressure, but buyers hold us above this range and we don't get below that $400 level. So it shows that sellers are trying to push us back down, but buyers still end off the day as a green day, and we show that we are holding above that resistance level there at 400. Getting back in this, kind of consolidation range that we were in between 425 and 400. You can see a pretty similar candle here, as after that candle, we tried to push above this range, and it shows that breaking out of this pretty important descending channel here, showing that we have support levels here, and then we turn this resistance into support as well. It's definitely a good indicator that we would be headed for a test of that 425, guys. I think it's very probable here as we see that very nice green wide bar breaking out and reclaiming this ascending support right after we use that resistance as support, showing that boom, the buyers claim that, and boom, the buyers claim back this ascending support. And then we move above that $400 psychological level and buyers close above that level. So looking pretty good here on MSTR, guys. I mean, from a short-term analysis, I think we are definitely headed to that 425, and then as we predicted on the channel, we would be headed to that $500 psychological level after we break through that 425 and that $430 level. So guys, like in the past, we have that very volatile chart. We get a lot tighter price action as we're not as volatile here. So we're definitely likely to see, as we saw that big volatile move up, we get really choppy and much tighter in this range, right? Price is a lot less volatile. If we could see volume pick up here, guys, and the volatility really spike, we could very much be seeing a big move up. You could be seeing a little bit of consolidation, kind of getting into a flag and pole like structure, guys, and then further moving up to that psychological $500 level. I mean, that's definitely not out of the question, as we've seen MSTR can be quite volatile, guys, really just bouncing around, battle between the buyers and the sellers, and we see a nice little ascending profile here. Nothing too major, ascending, 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 then boom, there's our spike up. In this instance, we had our overextended run. Again, ascending profile, a little bit more prominent in this one. You know, straight up, buyers really get that advantage. And then we see a tighter descending range instead of this volatile descending range. And then we get that move up, guys, showing that buyers are ready to push the stock higher. So I wouldn't be surprised to see a pretty sharp move to that 425 within the next day or two if we can hold that $400 psychological level as support. If you're a bear, guys, look for the bears to push it back under that and then try to test that 369 and that resistance once again, see if that could hold. I think we're looking much better for the buyers here after breaking out a pretty major zone and really not pulling back much at all after that overextended run, guys. So looking great here on the daily. I like what I'm seeing. Keep in mind we have some selling pressure, but if buyers can gain that advantage and hold strong as we have been doing, I think we are definitely going to see that test of 425 and that possible breakover. Now, guys, on the hourly chart, we see how responsive MSTR really is we have gotten through some major levels, but we always reclaim it and we bounce a lot of the times while we do so, right? So if you see in this descending range that we had here, guys, sellers try to push it under, buy it right back up. Once again, really try to push it under that support level, and we find different ascending support, get back above that, reclaim that descending support, bounce there. Once again, sellers try to push it under that level. What do? Buyers buy it right back up, reclaiming this ascending support, bouncing, bouncing, boom, big move up. Sellers try to push it under that major level once again, find it and get right back above that. And now we are trending above that $400 level. So it shows that MSTR is quite a responsive stock as once it gets to these levels, sellers may try to push it under, but then we usually buy it back up. And most of the time we do get that bounce. So it's very likely that we see that bounce here, trying to trend higher and yeah, try to get to that $425 level as we predicted. So it's definitely probable that we see sellers try to push it under this level, get to that 391 level, making it kind of a higher low in this formation, bouncing there, and then continuing up, reclaiming this high, and then trying to push it further to that $425 level. Now, guys, analyzing Bitcoin, as if you trade MSTR, you should be analyzing Bitcoin. They move together quite often. And on the channel, we were covering this longer term bull flag descending range that we broke out beautifully in that overextended run up. And we got over that 106,000 stubborn level. If you've been following the videos, we point out that this level is very stubborn and just a very important level recently to pay attention to while analyzing Bitcoin, as we've gotten above that, been a very stubborn zone to get back above, gotten above it. Once again, a little bit of a battle. And then the last time that we got above it, guys, nothing stopping us, which is a great sign, as if we look in the past, guys, this has been a very, very stubborn zone. Try to get above it, boom, boom, double top, get back below. And you see all the times we've tested that $106,000 level, we've just gotten shut down so many times. And that led to this longer term descending range, guys. So the fact that this last time we tested it, we didn't get held up one bit. We passed right through that level. Great sign. And then you see a little bit of chop around that range, thinking that we would create a lower high in this descending type of pattern, but we do not do that. We get that move up, bouncing off that 106. Another move up, trying to get above this rough 110,000 level. The sellers step in, pushing it back down to that 107,000. But we are holding above. And if buyers can step in, hold that $107,000 level, guys, as we are trending around 107,000 to 108,000, definitely be looking nice to really break through that 110,000 level that has been pretty stubborn as of recent times, and they continue higher. So MSTR as well as Bitcoin, guys, are looking pretty good. Definitely considering we broke it through that very stubborn level, buyers take that control. So I like what I'm seeing on Bitcoin. I think we will trend higher, possibly seeing all-time highs if we can reclaim that 110,000 and get over it nicely. So that's all I got for you guys today. I like what I'm seeing on MSTR. I think we will trend higher. I think Bitcoin looks pretty good here as long as we can reclaim that 110,000, aiding a nice movement to MSTR. And I think that MSTR is definitely looking nice to hit that 425 level. Just watch for buyers to hold above that psychological $400 level. I think we're very much headed to that 425. Now, if you guys enjoyed and want to see more MSTR content, make sure to like and subscribe, as I will continue to cover that as well as other major tickers. Trade smart, and I'll see you guys in the next one.